ahead to carry out this investigation was to be able to ascertain, the true nature of what actually happened. So we had to go with other non-governmental organizations, other civil society groups, which we call partners in nation building. And while I have our elder statesman here, Professor Philip Dahida, we will ask him to share more light on this. Thank you.
Okay. Introduction. In the light of the recent attacks on the convoy of the governor of Borno State in northern Borno, the Self-Humanitarian Advocacy Center, in collaboration with some credible non-governmental organizations, as well as some civil society organizations, commissioned an investigative panel to unravel the circumstances that led to the attacks, to put issues in proper perspective. The investigative panel consisted of a special rapporteur and other representatives with a mandate to physically visit Borno State and collect information on a first-hand basis. The core area of assignment includes, but not limited, to close interaction with citizens in Borno State, stakeholders, state actors, and the media on the activities of the Boko Haram insurgents in northern Borno. The investigative panel consequently visited northern Borno, especially the Kakwa Baga Axis, where it was alleged that the attacks on the convoy of the governor took place. The findings from the investigative visit are reproduced after intensive scrutiny of the facts presented through a multiple channel mechanism put in place to ensure objectivity, accuracy, and fulfillment of its original objectives. The issues. The governor of Borno State, Babangida Zulum, in his efforts at assessing the relocation of internally displaced persons back to their communities, have been visiting liberated communities in various parts of Borno State. On a couple of occasions in recent times, the convoy of the governor was attacked, which indeed ignited rounds of commentaries in the country with regard to the efforts of the Nigerian military in its efforts towards riding Boko Haram, Borno State or Boko Haram elements, especially in northern Borno. There was also allegations that the Nigerian military have not done enough to investigate the various incidences where the governor's convoy was attacked, thereby foiling the suspicion that the Nigerian military was complicit in the whole saga. The investigative panel, as a result of the aforementioned, overtook a trip to Baga and environs, wherein extensive consultations and interactions were made with all stakeholders in the theater of operations. The theater of operations. Findings. The investigative panel was able to glean on a first-hand basis that indeed the narrative making the rounds in the media with regard to the attacks on the governor is in contrast with the events surrounding the attack on the convoy of the governor. It was clear from all that was gathered that the Nigerian military has made substantial gains in addressing Boko Haram threats in Borno State as a whole, and specifically in Kwakwa Baga Axis, where it is regarded as the epicenter of the Boko Haram insurgency due to the proximity to the Lake Chad Basin, where Nigerians share boundaries with Chad and some Francophone countries. The fact was enforced with a strong presence of scrutiny operatives, which were seen on constant patrol of the region and making advancement towards the fringes of the Lake Chad Basin, where it is believed houses a sizable number of Boko Haram insurgents after their displacement from the operational headquarters in Sambisa Forest, as well as other areas in northeast Nigeria, where they hitherto held sway. It is indeed a statement of fact that Boko Haram group has significantly been incapacitated, and they have constantly employed the use of guerrilla attacks that involve the planting of improvised explosion device on routes frequently used by IDPs returning to their communities, as against their known strategy of engaging the Nigerian military in exchange of gunfire. This new plot by Boko Haram insurgents was indeed responsible for the attack on the convoy of the governor, and not a confrontation with security operatives in convoy of the governor. This was also confirmed on the spot assessment of the area where the governor's convoy was attacked. There were visible signs of craters that came about as a result of the impact of the IEDs detonated. It was stated further that as a result of explosion, the security operatives, the convoy, the governor returned gunfire in various directions as a reflex action. There was also an absence of infrastructure in Kakwa, Baga Aziz, as virtually all roads were impassable due to years of neglect, which in turn emboldened the Boko Haram insurgents to freely plant IEDs as they made their way towards the fringes of the Lake Chad Basin. It was also revealed that the state of the roads indeed enhanced terrorist activities in northern Borno as a whole, where pockets of Boko Haram activity still thrives. There was also a dearth of other infrastructures such as communication masts, electricity, water, and other necessities in most part of northern Borno state, which the Boko Haram group has taken advantage of in the furtherance of their nefarious activities. The investigative panel also discovered that bulk of the casualties recorded during the attacks on the governor's convoy were mainly as a result of EIDs during the attacks on the governor's convoy, were mainly as a result of explosions and not gunshot injuries as widely reported in the media. And the bad road network in Baga and environs is indeed responsible for the casualty figures as a result of communities that injured to the nearest medical facility was as a result of downting the number of deaths recorded. Conclusion: the efforts of Nigerian military in addressing the Boko Haram threat in northern Nigeria, in northern Borno state, cannot be overemphasized. The Boko Haram group have significantly been degraded, with the military constantly in their trial in the fringes of the Lake Chad Basin region. It must be noted that the terrain in Kukwasa Baga Aziz is impassable, thereby making some of the operations of the Nigerian military difficult. However, there seems to be collective resolve by the officers and soldiers in the theater of operations to bring the activities of the remnants of Boko Haram insurgents to an end as soon as possible. This much was gathered from interaction with officers and soldiers in the theater of operation, especially in Dorong Baga. Recommendations: it is therefore reasonable that the state government complement the efforts of the Nigerian military through the provision of necessary infrastructure, such as roads, construction, provision of electricity, and other facilities that will aid the operation of the Nigerian military. The state government also has the responsibility to tax to various stakeholders in Borno State and Northern Borno to be precise on the need to galvanize support for the operation of Nigerian military in the quest to rid Northern Borno of activities of Boko Haram insurgents. Thank you all.
Can you please briefly tell me exactly what's this outing all about?
Okay, I think because you actually came late, we actually went to the field to confirm what exactly transpired, what led to the attacks that has happened, most especially the recent attack on the Borno State governor. So we saw different narratives in the media, and we just felt, okay, in order for us to ascertain the true nature of these things, as civil society organizations, like, I don't know if you've been following us, Save Humanity Advocacy Center, we've been carrying out investigations around the country on where there are crises and issues. That's why we went there, and we decided we need to put this to the public so the public can understand what's happening.
So, in the process of you carrying out your investigation, were you at the scene of?
We were at the scene, yeah. That's why I just say that we're able to get to because if you're not on, at the scene, how will you be able to say you've gone to the field to carry out investigation? You need to be there.
So you mean it was not intentional?
I don't know the point which you came in. If you recall where we talked about during our findings about the IEDs that were planted, the same thing that makes, if you are going to Goza, for instance, you need to get to where they call Puka. That's in southern Borno now, for instance, in the past. And when you get to Puka, the military gun truck will need to escort everybody going in and out. So nobody can independently go through that route without those protections. And at the time, they were planting IEDs around those axes. So people coming from farm, soft targets, they were being attacked. So it's a similar thing that happened in this place as a result of the people that have left those places for a long time now.
So in a short word, it wasn't that
No, it wasn't.
Military were not the one that did.
How can military be the one to do the attack? Whoever said military? It wasn't even like they came and there were gunfires and what have you. You saw some of the videos that were circulating then. What did you see then? We didn't see the attackers. Did you see attackers? They were the ones shooting. Like the SAS issue that we had, was it yesterday? They said SAS killed an innocent person. Later we discovered it was a SAS officer that was even shot, by maybe his colleague. You always have different things that will come up, in the media. But anyway, that's not the subject for now.
Yeah.
Ibrahim Abubakar.
And your position?
I'm the Executive Secretary, Save Humanity Advocacy Center.
Thank you.
All right, thank you.